Hey, this is PJ with CLK Supplies, and I'm going to be going over how to rekey your standard cam lock. I'm going to be using the kit made by ESP. It's a little cam lock kit. I'll put a link in the notes below. And I'll kind of go into depth about this and kind of what you need to know and in order to rekey. But I'm sure by now, I mean, if you're in the business at all, you know that there's so many different cam lock manufacturers out there. There's so many different code series, and it can be quite challenging at times. And this kit is going to cover almost all of the cam locks that you're going to encounter. You'll be able to use it to some degree. So what we'll do is we'll zoom in the camera, I'll go over the kit, we'll rekey a cam lock together, and hopefully by the end, you'll have the confidence to do the same. All right, now before we get started, let me go over this little cam lock kit right here. It's made by ESP, like I said, and the diameter of these is actually going to fit a lot of different cam locks. Now, I went ahead up here on the wafer numbers and I wrote the different depths, which is a number 1 is a 0.250, a number 2 is a 0.230, number 3 is a 0.210, number 4 is a 0.190, and a number 5 is 0.170. So these are the depths that you're going to have to be working with in the kit here. However, when you look at all the different code series that are out there, these are very common depths. And now if it's not exactly like a 0.170 and it's like a 0.175, it's still going to work because these cam locks, you know, I mean, they're real inexpensive, and although they do their job perfectly well, they don't, you know, adhere to the strictest tolerances out there, like a normal like pin tumbler lock. So you definitely have some wiggle room. For the most part, you can go up a whole 1/10 of a thousandth here. So if you had like a 0.180, you could, you know, use one of these, and it's going to work on all the cam locks that I've seen. So this is what the kit looks like. As you can see, there's about 75-ish wafers in each for each size here. And if you look at the springs, there's definitely a lot of springs. I didn't count those. I would guess that's at least a couple hundred, maybe even much more. So this is the kit. I'll put a link below if you're not familiar with this, that you can take a look at it. So what we'll do is we'll just put this aside here for a moment, and let's kind of go over the cam lock. Now, the cam locks like this, the ones that are rekeyable are going to have like a Phillips or a flathead screw in the back so you can get it apart to rekey it. Now, if you find ones that have a rivet on the back, those ones weren't really meant to be rekeyed. I mean, is it technically possible? Yes, but truthfully, the juice isn't really worth the squeeze, right? It's a lot of work for not much. So when you find one that has a Phillips or a flathead on the back, those are the ones you know we can rekey. To get it apart, it's really simple. All you do is you just put your a Phillips screwdriver in here and unscrew it. Now when you do that, you're going to get all the little parts and pieces that are going to come off, and it's just going to come right out. Okay, so we'll be able to get that. When you have it in there, as you can see, if it's how it's in there, it's just going to come right out. Okay, so that screw is really holding it in on the back. So once you get it out, this is what you're going to be looking at. You're going to see this one has 5 wafers right here, and then on the back side of it here, you're just going to see, you know, there's just a little slot. So how these are meant to go in is that there's a spring in each chamber here, and then the wafer goes on top, and when you push it in, it kind of like locks in there. So when you go to get the wafers out, sometimes you can use like a really thin screwdriver like this, and you go to the back side and you get in here and you start pushing down like this, and you can get in there, you can get it going. Now, as you can see, I'm pushing hard and I can't even really get it out, okay? And that's because, you know, they can kind of get stuck in there quite a bit. Now, you just have to work at it, you'll be able to get it open, or you can use this tool I like to use by Gator Tools, and it's a wafer popper. Now, a lot of times this is looked at as like a automotive tool, but it works just fine and perfect with little cam locks just like this. So let's go ahead and let's get all these wafers out here. So all we're going to do here on the back side of the wafer, so we're essentially just going to force it out. Okay, so I'm going to flip it upside down here. I'm going to put it in just like that. I don't know if you could hear that, but you could hear like a little click, and it's going to get that to come right out. So we'll go to the next one, get it on there, just like that. That one went flying. We'll set it aside. Now while I'm finishing this out, I just want to talk about the fact that if you end up getting getting a new key that you need to pin these to, and these wafers are quite a bit off, you know, something you can do if you can come up with your own combination for whatever reason you need to, is you can actually just swap some of the wafers around. You know, you definitely want to make sure you're switching out, you know, 1s for 5s or 4s or something to make sure it's still secure. But that is a option if you find yourself without a kit, or the kit's not going to work, you know, something like that. So just keep that in mind here. So let's go through, got a couple more. As you can see, I mean, I'm just barely pushing. These are kind of popping right out. And it's much easier than trying to get in here with the screwdriver and really, you know, get them. But it looks like, okay, I got that one here with the screwdriver. Perfect. All right, so now once we got all those out, we got this empty, we're now ready to pin up the cam lock. So we're going to use these keys right here. There's actually a code on them. It's a IN 137, okay? So I went to Genera Code and I printed out the cuts for it. I'll put a nice picture on your screen here, you can see it. Now, is what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pin this cam lock up to it. Now, I do wanna point out, we do make space and depth keys that go over this code series that actually work with this cam lock as well. So this code series actually has a bunch more than just these 5 different sizes, okay? It also has a W, a X, and a 6 and a 7. Now, the W and the X are actually splits between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. So, you know, definitely pull it up, take a look at it. But if you find yourself without a code program to do something like that, you can use, you know, space and depth keys like this. So let me just set those aside. So is what we're going to do here is we're going to start pinning up this cam lock. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go to the first depth, which is a number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a spring here. Set that there. We'll put that in, and then we'll take the number 2 wafer and we'll put that in. Just like that, all right? Now, when you go to push it in, it's not gonna, like, sometimes it just doesn't go right in, okay? Especially if, you know, you're using these wafers on a lock that's maybe completely different than what, you know, this one is. All you need to do here is just take like your little screwdriver, okay? Put this down, and you're just gonna pop it in. So you're just gonna put, sorry, I'm gonna move it here. You're just gonna push it in. And once you do that, it's gonna kind of lock into place. So we got that number 2 wafer in. We'll go to the next one, which is a 4. So we'll go ahead and grab another little spring. We'll put a spring right here in the little spring spot. Now, if you're familiar with automotive style locks or wafer locks, then this is gonna look really familiar to you. So now I'm gonna grab the number 4. We're gonna put in there. Oop. Just like that. My little screwdriver here. Move this over. I'm just going to push it in. Just like that. Hopefully you heard that little click. Next one's going to be a number 2 again. So we'll go ahead and take another little spring. Put that in there. And we'll grab a number 2. Oop. Just like that. Once again, I'm going to set it down. I'm going to take my screwdriver. I'm going to push it in. Just like that. All right, we'll go to the next one, which is a 1. So we'll go ahead and we'll grab another spring here. We'll put it in. Grab another 1 wafer. Put it on the table here. Push it in. Oop, that one's kind of tough here. Let's see, a little tough. Let's go ahead and pull it back up and push it back in there. Right, now you can see this is real world here, right? So let's figure out why that's not coming in. Let's pull this out here for a second. There we go. All right, so there's that little piece. I don't know if you can see it on there, but you can see where it actually you know, catches and gets stuck right there. Hopefully you can see that nice and good there. Let's go and put it back in. Let's figure out why this is doing that here. So let's just move it over here. And this is gonna happen, right? You're gonna have wafers, oh, there we go. They get stuck. So a lot of times if you just pull it out, take a look at it, put it back in, it'll be a little good. Sometimes you may have it pushed over too far on one side or the other. So let's go into the last one here, which is a number 4, okay? Let's grab the little spring. Put it in there. Grab another 4 wafer. Let's go ahead and put it in here. Okay. We'll pop it in. Just like that. Okay, so there we go. So we've pinned this up. We can go in and we can take our key and we can take a look at it. Okay, so I'll take the key. We'll put it in here like that. All right, and as you can see, they all look great except for one. That one that we were just messing with here a little bit ago, that is definitely not the right depth, right? So it's sticking up like that and I can't push it in. So that's perfect. So all we need to do here is we'll just take the key out. We'll go ahead, we'll take our little wafer popper, we'll go to that one, we're just gonna push it out, okay? So probably this is actually a used kit that we use here, so there might have been a wafer mix-up. So we'll just go ahead and we'll go back to that number 4 space, which is a number 1. We'll just go ahead and grab another 1 here and make sure we got the spring. Let's put the spring back in. All right, we'll grab that number 1. Put it in there, put it down. Once again, push it in, just like that. All right, so here we go. Let's put the key in. Let's see if we got it right this time. And there we go. It's perfect. You see, it's nice and flush. It's nice and even, and there isn't really an issue here. Now, let's just go ahead here, and I'm going to take this space and depth key set. Now, on the, we have 2 number 2 depths, okay? Now that's right in the middle of where the, like the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 as far as the W and the X cuts go. So I don't know if you've ever pulled up one of these code series, you can see that there's a X and there's a W code. Well, that's what these are here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take this X key. So this is between the 2 and the 3, okay? I'm gonna put it in, and I just want you to be able to see when you look at it here on these number 2 depths. Let me try to zoom it in here. Let's see, let it focus. There we go. As you can see, they're perfectly flush and they'll work just fine, okay? So I just want to go back to the fact as far as if you find a code that has a W or a X, you'll still be able to use this kit to work for it, okay? Hopefully you can see that perfect right there. All right, so now that we have it done, all you simply need to do is just put it back together. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the key in. We'll go ahead and put it in there. We'll take it out. At this point, you can put all your, the cam pieces you need, and and take the screw, and you're just gonna put it back on there, just like that. And there you have it. And that's how you pin up a cam lock here using this ESP wafer kit. I'll put links below to all this stuff. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm glad that we actually had a few little hiccups here because you can see more of a real world type situation. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.